Hey guys, Shadney back with another process video today, and this one is again for the Scrapbooking for Beginners scrapbook kit that I built using only that kit. I went ahead and gutted this striped piece of paper and so that I can use it as a border, and then this kind of geodey marbly paper I just did not like at all, so we are going to turn it over and use the white side of it. And so I did cut that down to give or take about 11 inches by 11 inches. I do go in the back with washi tape and add tape just to add a little bit of more. Sorry, my brain's like not there right now. To add a little bit more stability to the layout. And then I have cut apart this whole sheet of tickets and into strips, and I'm just going to use them to make stripes all down the background for this layout. So I'm just adding them one strip at a time to the layout and trying to arrange color-wise which ones I want and how many I want across the whole page, which it ended up working out perfectly size-wise, the amount of strips that I had cut apart for it. It was a piece that I gutted from another layout to do a border around, so it was the exact width of the inside of this background paper, if that makes any sense. That was a little confusing how I said it, but so it kind of worked out perfectly size-wise. I do go in and just add adhesive to each strip and just adhere them down. I try to keep them as evenly spaced as possible, with also trying to not take up too much of the page. I will go ahead and apologize. I feel like every time I'm using this tape runner, it's like moving the entire camera, so because it's moving my table. So I do apologize for that. But I am almost done with that part, so yay. So there we go. They're all adhered down. If I was doing this on a more patterned paper background, I would probably go ahead and ink the edges of each of those strips. But thankfully on the white, you don't need that. So this photo is from the Oklahoma State Fair, the year I was pregnant with India. My family has a big tradition that we always go on opening day of the fair, which is really sad because this year, due to COVID and all the crazy, we are not having the fair at all. So it's been completely canceled. It makes me really, really sad. I've only ever missed the first day of the fair one year, and it was when I had a new job and they wouldn't let me off. So other than that, I have not missed a year. We always go to the fair every year on the first day, which is during the week. We always take off work, but it's just a special, fun family time. We all go together. Of course, we have a whole list of foods we have to eat, and just spend a lot of time together. It's a lot of fun. And opening day, it is cheaper. It's like $2 or $3 a person instead of whatever it usually is. I'm assuming like $7 person. And going on opening day is the best because you always get everything is the cleanest it's going to be for the entire 2 weeks that it's open, or a little over 2 weeks that it's open. So I would much rather go on the opening day than any other day because everything else is going to be crowded and disgusting by the time everybody else walks through there. Okay, so I went ahead and on this piece of 6x6 paper, I cut it, give or take about 4 inches across. And then I used my black, well, it's not the black, it's the gray, the dark gray Staedtler pen, and just did a really rough, scribbly lined version of fair in uppercase. And when you cut it across like that, it makes sure that all your letters are going to be the same height. But then, of course, the width doesn't really matter as long as you're happy with how it looks. It doesn't matter at all. So right now I'm just fussy cutting around these lines, and I did go over it a couple times just so it had that kind of scribbly look and a little bit messy and Yeah, it's kind of textury and fun and scribbly. So I just wanted a big title for this because I didn't really have a lot to say. I didn't really have a lot of embellishments I wanted to use or anything. I just thought the tickets were perfect for this photo because this is where we buy tickets, and then we always buy the tickets and then sit here and take a family photo together. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all of these letters down. These letters are not Thicker's brand, but they are chipboard and do not stick. So I am adding extra Nuvo adhesive to help them stick and then adhering them down. I will say, even at this point, I was having to use like some ever so slightly Frankenstein letters from this alphabet set. The L in Oklahoma is actually the letter I. So because I was already out of L's, and it just worked out. It actually took up less room, and I feel like the word looked a little better, like more like a block rather than having that big L would give a big space right there. So I feel like I like the L like that. And then for the fair word, I am using Stampin' Dimensionals to add behind fair so that they do pop up just a little bit, and then adhering those in place. This layout comes together really quickly because there's really not a lot to it, and there's not a super whole lot of embellishing because that background is fairly busy, and I feel like the title kind of says it all. And honestly, I feel like I probably should go in and write in everybody's name in the photo because in a million years, who knows, we're not going to remember who everyone was maybe. So I might go back and do that. But we typically have the same people every year for the fair, so it wouldn't be too confusing, hopefully. Like I said, this was the year I was pregnant with India, which I was not very pregnant. I just out of the first trimester, I think. But kind of over the sickness, the morning sickness. I don't know. I ate all the food, so I was good. I didn't get sick, thankfully, at the fair, so I was very thankful for that. And then the next year we went, India was big enough. She got to eat some of the food, which was kind of fun. I didn't give her like all the deep fried food, but we gave her some fun stuff, like grilled corn and all that. Corn dog. Have to get a corn dog at the fair. I did go ahead and add 2015 below it because we do go to the fair every year, so I feel like it was good to add the date. And then I just added a very little bit of journaling to the bottom because there wasn't anything really extra special about this photo or anything. Because we go every year, there wasn't a story behind it or anything. It was mostly saying it was our annual trip to the fair and I was pregnant this year. So that's about it. And I just did it across the bottom here just so I didn't take away from the rest of the page, since there's already, the rest of it's kind of big and bold. I feel like it didn't need a whole lot more. I am going to go in and add a few buttons and some splatter. Oh, I used the turquoise splatter for this. I do love this turquoise. I feel like it was kind of hard because I wanted to use it more, but I feel like it didn't really go with all the colors that great. But I do end up using it for this, and it works out pretty great. I'm adding some buttons and trying to use some of the larger buttons because they're a little bit harder to use because they are so big. And I think it works out pretty well because this layout is a little bit more bold and graphic and not all the sprinkly bits like I usually do. So I feel like it worked out pretty well to use those giant buttons. I do go ahead and pull in some brads as well, which I was really excited to get to use. I used this little tiny orange one. Actually, I think 2 tiny orange ones and maybe the big fat striped one. Oh, a medium orange one, a small orange one, a medium orange one, and then that striped one, which doesn't match perfectly, but it has like that kind of fall fair feel, maybe. I don't know. It might not. But it worked for me. I was happy with it. I was excited to get to use it. I'm really excited for this kit to be over. I mean, I've enjoyed using it, and it's really pushed me to kind of work outside my box a little bit, and push myself to use the same products over and over, which I don't usually do. But I am excited because I had just bought all these brads before I started doing this, and I haven't really gotten to use very many, so I'm very excited to get to start playing with all the brads again and using those in all my layouts. And then sorry, I did this process like several weeks ago, and so I don't really remember what all I did, so I'm kind of waiting for things to show up on the screen before I can tell you what I did. Oh, I added some of these stickers, and I added the mini dimensionals, so it gives them a little bit of texture. So the mini dimensionals fit like perfectly behind these little hearts and stars. And I just added the stars that had the gold embellishment. No, that didn't make sense. The blue hearts that had the gold embellishments on them. And then I added some of these mint green sequins. And then I believe that's all. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like. Maybe leave me a comment and let me know some of your family's little weird traditions that y'all do, either annually or whatever. I like traditions are always my favorite part of family time and holidays and all that. So I like hearing what everyone's traditions are because sometimes we incorporate those into our family. So thank you guys. Oh, and if you want to see more videos, especially the rest of the series, please hit subscribe and hit that bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy scrapping. Bye.